Hey folks, it's Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. We're calling it a Spy Tuesday. We expected more from the market this morning. We didn't get it in the small caps. So we had to take an option play. And we also have an update from last night when we went back in. And what happened last night was we lost half of what we made yesterday. And that happens because we need financial professional advice. And on the market, you're bound to lose. It's extremely risky. So trade in the simulator, trade with one stock, and get financial help. So a recap for yesterday was we went back in on TGE. We were messing around with OBS, took 240 shares and lost 21.60. That was half of what we had made yesterday. And so let's proceed on to the video. So as you can see here in bottom right hand corner, this was for Monday afternoon. We're in Pacific time, standard time, so it was 12:22, a little bit after noon time. If you like our videos, like and subscribe. We hope to give you more lives, but like we did this morning, the like costs you absolutely nothing but a click. Just click on there, click on the like. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But if you'd like to subscribe and be notified, click the bell. That way you'd be notified when we go live or when we publish new videos. And if you like our content, share it by all means. Share it with folks who might be out there just learning. So what happened is, I don't know what happened to OBS. Got messed up, so I had to redo it. And I'm reworking it, and I reworked it into this format. And TG&E was making noise, and I thought, well, I think it had gone up to 196, and now it was down. And I thought, well, why not? Let's go ahead and see what we can do. And we'll use our template. And we jump in to the water using a 20 cent up, 10 cent down. So a 2-to-1 ratio, looking for at least. We thought down here at 180, maybe we could get the 20 cents if it could go back up to $2. And down the bottom right-hand corner, you can see our P&L watch list. We had made $31 on MSPR early in the day and $11.40 on THAR. And so now we were looking for another 10, 12 bucks. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. It was having a hard time here. It had dropped down, and it's just too much resistance. And I would say this is a FOMO play on my part. This wasn't, intelligently placed, and I guess it was good in a way because I got the FOMO, out of Monday, out of the way. And here I thought it'd go back up. I thought, you know what, really? But I had seen that pattern before. You see that indecision candle, and then another red candle, and then this one fights, and then eventually hits red and turns down. But we had a little cushion in the day, so we were going to hold. But lo and behold, what happens? I think the bulls just said no mas, and it jackknives down here, I think. And so that brought our monthly wins from $42 down to $20 as of yesterday. Yeah, ugly candle. But today is another day. I was kind of hoping that the market would pick up this morning. and that we would do better, but it wasn't to be. We only took a SPY option call, and we made $11 out of it. And we'll talk about the option as we go here. We executed on this. See, they're at $9.52. Bought it at 94 cents and sold it at $1.05 at 10.07. So 15 minutes later, we only held it a little bit. Our efficiency is at 100% on one trade. And for the month, after yesterday's loss and today's win, we're up $31.94. More importantly, we have 2 days. We're still green, and we still have 3 days. So here was the trade along that yellow line there. When the SPY was around 677.86 after open, and we rode it up until it hit about 678.85, and the SPY did continue, and it went higher. We could have probably doubled that $11, but it was cool because you see here where we bought and where we sold, and there you see an update at 9:04 a.m. and the price was down all the way down to 69 cents because it had fallen. So had we held it any longer, we would have been caught in that downturn. And the problem with options is that decay. The longer the period goes, the longer it loses. So here's our SPY trade. And so this is this morning, Tuesday, November 4th. Up in the upper left corner, you can see the time. It's around 6:43 Pacific time, 9:43 in the East Coast. And I reshuffled the windows around to give you guys a little bit more clarity and to enhance the watch lists on the left-hand side. So the numbers are more prominent. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And so we moved around time and sales on the left, and then the level 2 charts in the middle, 1 minute, and then on the right's the 5 minute, and below is the 133 tick mark chart, which is equivalent to a 10-second. Then our active trader window, and on the bottom right-hand corner is our optional watch list, which usually carries the P&L. So we're watching the SPY off the open, and you see there it dumped all the way down below 675, but then it started to pick up. And so we're watching it here, and now it's on the high band of the VWAP, and I'm thinking that it's going to head higher. But I'm looking at the options, and I was looking at today, at the options that expired today. I say I'll buy an option today, plan that it's going up, but they were over $1. And the one I looked at, I think, was $1.30 or something. And I said, I'm not so sure that I'm ready to risk $130 on it reaching 687 today. 685 are the calls I looked at. And so we continue to look. And by the way, this what you're seeing here is a excerpt from this morning's live. So this morning we went live before the market opened, and we were on for a couple of hours, and in between my computer froze and I had to reboot and restart over. So there's 2 videos out there, 2 lives today. You're not going to miss much. The small caps just weren't there. SENX was about the only one that was trying to move. MSPR took a deep dive. PTLE moved up a few cents but didn't make it. VSEE, likewise, nothing happening. CMBM was sort of teasing folks, but it had no news, and it's a continuation stock. So we didn't take it. EVOC, I think, was the other one, but I think that one was up very early in the morning. So folks who traded pre-market probably made money. We had, what was his name? Devian Philippe get on chat and alert us to DTKC. And at the time I was looking at it, it looked like it was going sideways, hovering around the $4 or below $4. And I drew a couple of trend lines, and I went back and I looked at it about an hour ago, And amazingly, it held the trend lines that I had drawn, but then it eventually moved up. So here I'm drawing two trend lines for the SPY, one up, one down, and then I'm bringing up the daily. And you're going to see here, this is the daily, and this chart I drew more than a week ago. And you can see my trend lines there, and the SPY following those trend lines exactly. It's almost exactly what I had planned there. I draw it to the side to give it space so that you don't get candle bars over the drawings, but you can see there. But it did hold the channel, those green lines, diagonal lines. But there the EMAs look like they're curling, like they're making a hand and about to close a fist. But my expectation is that it's going to pick up. And this is at 6:47 in the morning. I should probably take a look and see what it's doing right now. That way we can... And I don't think it's doing that well right now. Yeah, it's down to 676. So that daily that I drew trend lines on probably isn't going to hold. And NVIDIA is right on the boundary of 200 and going lower. So DTCK is the stock. It's at 466, and when we were looking at it, was between $3.80 and $4. So grats to you, Davian, if you stayed in it. It looked like a good 45-degree angle, and like I said, it looked like a good hold. A foods company. So it's around 6:48 in the morning Pacific here. We've been holding on to the SPY chart because there really isn't anything else moving. And you guys can see the watch list on the left-hand side that nothing's happening. Nothing's jumping out and saying, hey, trade me, trade me. Make money off of me. So I continue to hold, but I'm not convinced here. And of course, now it's at the upper band of the BWAP still. And I continue to look at options. And then I thought of something. Instead of looking at options that expired today, 0 DTEs, I went and I looked at Friday's options. And those were a lot more price friendly. So I started looking at the option that expired on Friday at 685. And at the time I looked at it, it was around between 60 and 70 cents. And I wasn't sure yet whether I wanted to take it or not. And so I start looking at it here. And while this chart is going on, I continue to look. And I'm on my spreadsheet trying to draw up numbers to see what can happen. And I didn't want to risk a whole lot, but I finally settled on a option that was at near 90 cents. And I said, okay, I'm willing to risk $100 for the week on the SPY to see if I can make $75 or 100 and a little over 100. And right here where it starts to move up, then I become convinced that it's go time and that I should jump in. And when I finally decide to jump in, I place my order, and you'll see it in a second here. I was a little too late, too hesitant, and it just didn't fill me because it bypassed me. I put my order in and it was way too low. So I got to cancel. And yeah, I should be watching the option instead of the SPY, but I think the SPY gives me more of watching the SPY on the chart gives me a little bit more confidence as opposed to just watching that particular option. So here I canceled that one and I decided to go back in and click it again. And we'll get filled in a second here. There we go. We get filled at 94 cents. And now it's just a matter of waiting and letting the volume take over. And during this time, I'm still looking at other possibilities on the small caps, but they just don't seem to be showing up. Let's see how the indices are doing. Yeah, the Russell 2000 is down. Well, not too bad, 35 points. NASDAQ is down 392. Tech stocks took a beating. The Dow is down 287. The S&P 500 is down 69. And gold is down 65, which is interesting. And of course, crypto is down too quite a bit. So I think folks are pulling back their money. It might have to do something with elections. I don't know. The fact that Palantir didn't make as much money and they're down 7% today, I don't see Palantir taking the entire market down. They're pulling Nvidia along with them, but to be truthful, I don't understand it. I guess we're not supposed to understand it. But, you know, folks may be doing this, the big whales may be doing this, withholding money because they want bargains. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So if when you go out and you want to buy something, let's say you go to a swap meet or someplace where you can haggle, you know, you're going to haggle for a price, make an offer, and they say, no, okay, well, you walk away. And then the longer you stay away, the more likely if the demand is not high, the price is going to come down a little bit. Yeah. So here I'm checking XRP. Let's see what's it at now. 219. I was looking for 224 or lower, but since it's at 219, I think I'm gonna see if it goes down below 2, because that's a bargain. Below 2, and buy the dips, and I think that's what's gonna happen. It's only 11 Pacific and nearing 1 p.m. on the East Coast, so I'm thinking that by noon or even after the close, these whales are going to come in and swoop up bargains, or wait till tomorrow. If the elections are what has them nervous, they'll wait till tomorrow. So here in the live, I had to step away for a quick break, and during this time, and I let the option go, and I let the recording go, the live go, and we're watching it, and the SPY continues to move up. And whether I, exited at the right time, or I should have waited, or I should have held it, in retrospect, I should have not held it till Friday. I shouldn't have held it till tomorrow, because of where it's at now. Yeah, it's 676. I would have taken a bath. I'd be down $40, $50 right now. So Instead, I'm up $11 by playing it safe and taking it off as soon as I saw some red. And it was good discipline today. We didn't jump into any of these other stocks. 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I would have been jumping on MSPR, on PTLE, SENX, losing money. I don't do that anymore. And I mentioned it on the live that one of the things that you have to do is disconnect yourself from money. Many beginner traders come on here, and what we do is, and I did it, we're in control, right? We have the software, we have the mouse button, we have the hotkeys, we can choose when to enter, when to exit, and we watch others do it, and we see what it is, and obviously green versus red, and we want to be bullish and day trade on momentum stocks. We just have to look for them to go up and jump on a bandwagon, and we're there. But it isn't as simple as that. Our emotions get the best of us. And what I've seen some folks do is some folks want to trade the news. So they get up at 4 a.m. Eastern, right off the bat, 4 a.m., a stock hits the scanner and they jump in. And the digital world being what it is, by the time they jump in, there's this huge bar already, of $1 or $2 that has been built. They jump in, but it's at the top. And the market is not there for that bar to double in size. What happens is it begins to consolidate and then eventually set off. And then these folks wind up holding, like I was doing, and hoping that it goes back up, and it never does. And then they lose money. And what happens on a cash account is that if you go in a little too deep, a little too heavy, that cash is gone and it won't settle until the next day, and you can't trade. So you handicap yourself for the day. And so that's why it's best that if you have FOMO, set the quantity to 1 and jump in with 1 share. And then kill your FOMO that way. And when you realize that you've lost or that you made a wrong decision, you're going to lose whatever that equity's price is for 1 share only. So if it's a $10 stock and it goes down 10 cents, you're not going to lose as much on 1 share. But if you go in with 100 or more shares, the loss is going to be greater. So here I still haven't gotten back to my desk, and it was nice to see this replay because I wasn't here, or I wasn't here to watch it live. So watching it on the replay was obvious, telling me I made a good choice. And now I see the mouse moving around, so I think I am back. The mouse flying all over the place. And the other good thing is, for this, since the premium was only 94 cents, we only spent $94 on the whole day. I still got over $2,600 in settled funds that I could use to trade if the market were to pick up later today. But I know it won't, and because of the mistake I made yesterday, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give up half or even the $11 that I made today. I'll just wait till tomorrow. So we hit 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 on the East Coast. And typically what we've seen has been that at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time, a slew of buyers come in. We haven't been seeing that. They've been staying away. So in the meantime, I'm making a little money. In the right-hand bottom, you can see now that I've added the option there, and it shows what our P&L is. We're up $8 or so, and I'm cycling through the various stocks. At least the top ones there. Looking to see if there's anything else. Here I'm looking at CMBM, and I sort of like that play, but it doesn't look like it has the strength to go up and down. EVOC, that was the stock that was up high this very early this morning. And here I'm looking at this stock and thinking, well, you know what? It'll cross VWAP, and then it'll come down and then go back up again. And so I draw some trend lines of what I think my expectation would be. Now, this is my expectation. This is not in any way any type of prediction, and I'm not saying it's going to do that. And then you see me point to that row of green candles. The strength is not there, so I know it's not going to make it. And I have no idea what it's at now. But so we go back to our SPY, and it's pulling back a little. And now, remember, we saw this this chart at the beginning. We look at it again. Look at that. It recovered at least $2 to $3 there, and now that bar is green now as it's moving up and remaining within the channel. I'll have to go back and look at it now and see how it's done now that it's down at 676, because that means it probably broke that channel at 676. Now it's 675. And NVIDIA is below 200. Yeah, so definitely probably broke that channel. So I don't expect folks to be buying this evening. So we continue to be patient with our option, and then I'm looking at it here and see this nice little pop, and we're up to $12 now. And somewhere in between here in the next couple of minutes, I make the comment that if it hits 15, I'm going to sell. I mean, why wouldn't you? The option expires on Friday. It's moving up. It's probably looking very juicy to somebody out there who thinks that this stock is going to go, that the SPY is going to hit higher. And that's another thing about in the money options. When I get out here in a few minutes, I do it at the almost the very top, but it still had room to go higher. So whoever bought it still could have made a little bit of money and then sold it themselves to some other poor sucker who bought it, and then eventually curled down. So I have it for a couple more minutes. If you guys watch this till the end, I appreciate you watching. Please hit the like button. We're not getting very many likes. For some reason, 80% of the people that watch videos never hit the likes. And very simple, whether you're on the mobile device or on the computer, hit the thumbs up. Make your vote count if you like the video. If you are a day trader, a beginner day trader, and you don't trade options, make sure you get training. Make sure you get some professional training. Options are not an easy thing to trade, and especially with a cash account of less than $3,000, it's very difficult. I'm nearing $3,000, by the way, so that's why I mentioned that, from $2K to $3,000, and I'm still down over $2,000 for the 18 months that I've been trading. So it's the cost of learning to trade. But hopefully, if we get a bull market here in the next few months, things will get better. So right here, these red bars tell me that it's time to get out. And you'll see in a minute here, we'll see the trend reversal indicator. And that's a warning shot that has been helping us quite a bit. There's the trend reversal, the pink R. And usually what I see is the trend reversal goes on and then it goes a little bit higher and then before it dumps. So here we're thinking things are going to go sour, so we sell and we get out with an $11 win. Everyone have a wonderful day and enjoy what's left of the day, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. We'll try to do another live tomorrow if we can get our technical issues resolved.